links back to Glide so we can use them in Glide. Now the first thing I want to share with you is this inventory app, which I've just pulled out of the Glide template gallery. I have a section in the orders section which I want to generate an invoice. So I've added this button here, and I want to generate an invoice, and this is the thing we're going to connect to the action, the webhook action. So in Portant, you can sign up for a free account and use Portant today, and then you can select to create a new workflow and use Glide as the source. So we're just going to select that. And what Portant does is it creates this webhook address down here. So I'm just going to copy this, and essentially what this screen tells you to do is to add a Glide action, select trigger webhook, and then add a new webhook from the menu and paste this into the fields, which I'll just show you now. So we'll just open this up and go to this section where you want to scroll down to the bottom and select trigger webhook. So we pick that, and then we want to select the webhook. Now I've got quite a few here. You might not have as many, but just click add new webhook, and then you can write a name for it. So, and then I will paste the webhook address that I copied from this section here. So I copied this address to my clipboard and I've pasted it in here. So when I save that, you can see that I've got a triggered webhook now. I've got Glide PDF, and then there are values down here, which are the key value pairs that we want to send via this webhook. So we've got a few different values that we want to include. So the sale or restock value, I don't think that we need this one. We actually would like the row ID instead. And so you can free type in here anything you want, or you can even use actual values from within, but I just recommend typing. And then just keep on adding all the details. So we want entered quantity, the next step is to it will, if I wasn't here, say add values and then send a test event to the webhook. So how we send a test event is just to click the button generate invoice. This gets all the information from that we've identified in those value pairs and then sends it across to Portant. So here we will see we've received an event. Now I don't know if you just saw that, but I clicked the refresh button. You could have clicked refresh here as well, and that would have brought up this page. So if we open it up, we can see all the value pairs come in, the details of the event here, and that gives us everything we need to do to get started. So next step is to connect the document. So I'm going to select a Google Docs file. I've actually got a template that I've made already, so that's going to pull it up, and quite a few of these tags are already in the document. So I don't know if I've selected all the ones needed, but we can find that out quite quickly by pressing the refresh button in this source table. So this is the source table of all the tags that are coming in from Portant, or sorry, from Glide, and you can copy them and paste them into your document. You can also see this document it's essentially Google Docs. You've got all the formatting options in Google Docs here, but you can also open the Google Doc and edit it. That can be in a shared location or in your personal drive. So to check if all the tags are correct, you just click the refresh button up there. You can see that all the inserted tags are valid, but if we were to change one of these and put in some kind of wrong information and then click refresh, it would call that out as being incorrect, and then we can change that and then press refresh, and it will tell us that all the document tags are valid. So I'm just going to share with you how this document is created. Go back now and click generate invoice, and then this is going to send all this information that's in the webhook to Portant. So you can see it will come in here a few seconds ago. There it is, and then you see the green dot appeared on the output page, and you can see that we have these documents which have been generated, and that has all the information correctly placed inside the document. So that's great. That is a document which has been generated from Glide. Now the next thing that you want to maybe do is you could email on that document. So you could share that document via email and use tags to customize that email as well. The other option here is, I don't know if you saw it, but you could request the signature, where you can insert a placeholder for this document to be signed and request somebody to sign it and return it to you. So that's really good for kind of contracts and stuff like that. But in this video, I just want to share with you how you can get the information back to Glide. So we need to configure Glide. So the first step is to configure this page. Now if we go back to Glide itself, you need to have access to their Pro business plan for this, but go to the data section, click Show API. But before you copy this info, I want you to go back and create a new column within your spreadsheet, which you will save the document link in. So I'm going to call this invoice link, and then I want to save a URL into it and click Done. Now when I go back here, click Show API and then copy that information, and then you can paste it into a note file like this. Now the first bit of information that you need is the authorization token, which is this bit of information here. We can copy that and bring it across to Portant. You'll see that in your first time that you set this up, you're going to have an invalid or empty authentication token down here. So you can click this link, which will open up the permission section of Portant where you can connect to Glide. So click this big blue button, put your cursor there, and paste in the auth token and click update. And then you can go on and enter the other information for Glide. So if I go back here and I refresh the page, you can see that there's no warning message, and I can enter the app ID, the table name, and the column name. If we go back here, we can see the app ID is up here. Copy that, paste it here. The table name is this one. Copy that, paste it in there. And then the column name, so I had added in invoice link, and this is the code you want to put in for the column name. And then click update. So we have the Glide data coming into the Portant, we're generating a PDF, and then we're also writing this, this link back to Glide. Just before we do that, we can actually remove the Google Docs file, so we can just create a PDF, which is kind of handy. So go back to the layout, and then once again click Generate Invoice. This is going to send all the data back to Portant another time. We can follow it as it makes its way through. So we've got this row that's appeared, we've got the output which is generated, and then finally it should generate, so you can see it here. So that's kind of cool. And then the final bit is I've actually added this link to open the invoice. So we open the link, it's an action to open the link, and then I just select the invoice link here, and then you can add a condition when basically when invoice link is not empty. So if we do this again and delete this info, it will not show this button, and then if I click it, it takes a little bit of time to go. So it's going to go create the document, then it's going to generate that, save it in your Google Drive, and then send back the document link back to Glide, and there it is. That's the open invoice link. So you can click that and open it. So this is the first bit of functionality we've added to Glide. We're really excited to see what you build with it. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. My name is James, as I said at the beginning, and my email address is james@portant.co. Yeah, just fire over any questions or comment on this video. Cheers.